All right, this is Carly with KiSS 1023. We are sitting here with Vance Joy. This is honestly an honor.
Oh, thanks,
I am a
Carly.
fan. However, when I first met him, he did introduce himself as James.
Yes.
So you go by James.
Yeah, I go by James when I'm walking around or I'm buying a sandwich or something. But yeah, I also go by Vance. I'm happy to go with whatever. Yeah.
Okay, and the name Vance Joy, it came from a character in a book that you read.
Yeah. It's
Can you tell us a bit about that?
it's a character from a book called Bliss, which is an Australian book, and the character is like a grandfather storyteller kind of figure, and he appears 15 pages in, and I just saw that name and I thought it was like a beautiful name, and I was like, I'm gonna. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I like that name. And then eventually I was writing songs, and I thought I'll use that as my moniker.
Very nice. I like that. Yeah, you said you didn't know what you were going to do. When did you decide that you were going to start playing music and taking it seriously?
I think it was around. I mean, in 2009, I wrote a song called "Winds of Change," which is the first song on my album. But I didn't. I had this like little secret dream to do it. But then it wasn't until about 2012, 2011, 12 when I was really like, I really want to do this. I really want to see where this goes, and I want to play gigs to people and put music on online and stuff.
And before you were playing music, you were playing a sport that I am not familiar with. Australian rules football, is that the proper name?
That is the proper name. Yes, a lot of people think it's rugby and soccer, but it's a game that's unique to Australia, and it's a full contact sport. And I was playing that kind of competitively, but not professionally. And I thought I'm not gonna I'm not gonna be a professional at this sport, but I love it, but I'm not gonna do that, and I'd rather be spending my time writing songs.
I heard that it was a more like aggressive rugby. Is that true?
It's different to rugby. I mean, rugby is like such high, the collisions are so big. But in AFL, it's um, it's like a 360 game. There's no offside rule, so you can be running from all different directions, and you're flying for the ball, and everyone can go for the ball at the same time. There's no like calling it out and saying this is mine. Like you all have to go and jump. So people jump into each other, and that's where the big collisions happen, and that's where it can get pretty gruesome. But I think it's just like it's similar to rugby. I think the guys are more athletic, or at least taller and slimmer. Maybe not more athletic, but they're a different body size.
So I was gonna say, I'm like, when I saw a picture of you for the first time, I heard your music first, and then I saw a picture of you, and I was like, he doesn't even look like a musician. Like he looks like an athlete. So it made sense when I saw that you played that sport. AFL, you called it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds cool. I
Yeah.
like that. It was a little bit wordy, Australian rules football, but AFL is good. Um, so when you first started playing, first instrument you started playing was guitar, I'm assuming?
It was the first instrument that I loved, but I actually started learning piano when I was in primary school, and I never liked going to lessons, even though I benefited from them. And then guitar, I was the first instrument that I fell in love with, and also kind of learnt to play all my favorite songs on.
And when you first started playing guitar, you did what most of us do when we start playing guitar. We do cover songs
Yeah.
because we don't have our own songs. And I read that one of the songs that you like to cover was Green Day's Time of Your Life.
Yeah.
And I was like, that seemed odd to me, but also probably a song that most of us, when we
Yeah.
first picked up the guitar, started learning that riff. What other songs were your go tos?
Um, there was Metallica songs like "Nothing Else Matters," which is like the kind of cool guitar riff. There was Blink-182 songs like Adam's song. I remember playing that for friends. And when the I guess a bit when I was a bit older and I was singing and playing, I would play this is a favorite at the football club. It was Fuel Shimmer. You know that song?
I don't know if Feel Shimmer was Feel Shimmer.
Yeah, it goes like too far away for me to hold, too far away. You know that song?
I don't know that song. Am I a complete outcast for not knowing?
No,
Who
no, no.
sings it?
A band called Fuel, and the song's called
Oh,
Shimmer.
it is a Fuel song. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
sure
yeah.
I know it. I'm sure I know it.
Yeah, yeah,
Thank you
yeah.
for singing it. My first song that I started playing, that at least I can remember, I don't play guitar anymore, but it was an AC/DC song, Hell's Bells. I first
Oh,
learned that
amazing.
riff. Yeah, also Adam's song. That's hilarious. Okay, jumping ahead, Dream Your Life Away is your debut album. Came out in 2014. What can you tell us about that album?
I think 13 songs, and they're all they span from I think 2009 when I wrote my first song called "Winds of Change" to probably I think 2 weeks before the album was due to be, completed. So that's like maybe 5 years of songwriting, and I think it's the best that I had at the time. And yeah, I think they're all kind of mostly love songs, but intimate, kind of in the way they're produced, and I think mostly just about my voice and the lyrics. And yeah, I'm proud of it. I was really proud, and still am very proud to have completed an album and to put it out.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're so humble, but you should be proud of that album. It's an amazing album. Arguably the biggest song off the album, or your biggest song, your song that really launched your career, is Riptide, which was on your EP first. Did you think that that song would be as big as it is?
No, I didn't think that. I thought it was a special song because I played it to my family and I played it to people at cafes, and they'd be like, "Hey, I like that song. What's that song called?" And then, so I knew there was something special about that song, and so I didn't know what would happen. I played it at record labels. I played it to radio stations, and it always got a good reaction. And so the more I played it, and the I guess I consistently was getting that good response. I knew that something was happening, but it kind of took its own life, and it started growing, and it still is getting played by a lot of buskers around the world, I'm sure. So it's been amazing, and I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing if I hadn't written that song. So
Exactly. Song is so big that Taylor Swift covered it.
yeah.
Did you know that that was going to happen before it happened?
No, she gave no clues, and so that came out, and I watched it like everyone else online on the BBC.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
So what was your first reaction when you found out?
It was a bit like that. It was
Waving your arms.
yeah, it was a bit of
flying.
arm waving, a bit of like, wow, just kind of like, whoa, and then like just getting messages being like, so just friends being stoked for me. So yeah, that was cool, and she did a beautiful job. So I just enjoyed watching it, and I still do. Yeah.
So after that, then she asked you to support her on tour, and obviously you said yes.
Yes.
How was that tour?
It was amazing. I loved it. I loved opening for her. I loved being part of that whole operation, and she's just a fantastic person, beautiful person, and a great songwriter. And I loved her show. I mean, I would just think about how much fun I had watching that show, and like with my friends, if I had friends in town, we'd come to the show and we'd just stand and just dance. And
Every night.
well, it depends if I had friends, and
Yeah.
I've only got about 4 or 5, but but I'd always enjoyed doing that, and especially in Australia, I had more of a big substantial crew, and we were just like dancing to because these are songs we'd listened to for 7 months, so we got very familiar.
And did you know about these surprise guests that she'd be bringing out every night on tour?
Yeah, sometimes I knew about them, depending on if their dressing room was next to mine, and I'd like poke my head in and be like, "What's going on here? Who's the guest?" And then sometimes it would be completely secret. But even when I knew, I was surprised. Like I knew that Lorde was playing Washington, and Taylor gives a big, introduction to the artists, and so she does a beautiful introduction, builds them up, and like it's just like, this is the world's #1 song, Grammy winner, da 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 da, and I'm just like, who's it gonna be? And in my head I'm like, it's Lorde, mate. but anyway, when Lorde, because the person comes out of the stage and they like come out of the stage, and I'm just like, wow, and just like screaming. So I loved it. I loved the guests, and I didn't even ruin the surprise that I.
If you could bring out anyone on tour like she could, who would you bring out?
Oh, I was actually thinking. I think I don't know, like maybe some kind of classic artist. Someone whose songs I've been listening to recently is Sheryl Crow. I listen to her songs. All I want to do is have some fun, and also the song "Strong Enough." You know that song?
I love that song. Oh my god.
How good is that song?
I like just recently rediscovered that song. I was like, I love this song. It's very. Did that come out in the 90s maybe?
Yeah.
Probably.
It's
Yeah.
not the 90s, but it's so timeless. It's like,
Yeah, because I've seen people have like their wedding dance to that song.
yeah.
That's incredible. She's awesome. No athletes or anything? Because she brought out athletes, actors.
Who would I bring out athlete-wise? Well, I don't know. Maybe an athlete who sings as well, and I guess you'd just find out. So if any of them want to come and play guitar or something, I know that Johnny Depp plays guitar. That would be pretty cool. If he wanted to come and play guitar on a song, yeah. I mean anyone. I don't really mind.
All right, I got a few more questions for you, then we'll wrap up. What are you currently listening to? You said Sheryl Crow. Who else?
I listened to recently a song that has Marcus Mumford singing, and it's a few guys. Actually, Johnny Depp is playing guitar, but it's the basement tapes. It's the Bob Dylan lyrics that never got written into songs, and they've made this song, and it's called Kansas City, and it's beautiful. So I was listening to that. That's a particularly cool song.
That's it?
And that song, and what else? Oh, I like Sia.
You like Sia? Yeah, her new album comes out, what, like a week from now, I think?
Yeah.
Very exciting. She's awesome. One last question. What is next for Vance Joy? This album's been out for almost 2 years. What is next for you?
Next for me is finishing this tour, finish in April, write some more songs, maybe on the road. Maybe also write some songs while I'm having a bit of a break, and then record them and see how they sound, and hopefully release another album soon, and do more of the same stuff. Yeah.
Thank you so much.